Welcome to another live stream. We appreciate you being in there so much, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for helping us to defend the animals. Please make sure you double tap the stream, like it, share, subscribe, and get the comments going in there early doors to get that engagement up for the animals today. We are at a slaughterhouse. I'm looking over my shoulder because that could be a truck. No, it's not a truck, not a truck. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Today's disclaimer: we are here today for our right to assembly, our right to freedom of speech. We are here not to cause alarm, harassment or distress or any form of intimidation. We're here today to solely defend the animals. This will remain peaceful and lawful, and that is exactly how it intends to remain. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Don't forget, double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. This slaughterhouse right now, cows are being brought here today. Dairy cows and beef cows are both being brought to this slaughterhouse to be executed. They're optional products, and we're here today to defend them by coming alongside you and turning your head against this industry. The camera's already looking at us, guys. They know that we're coming here today. We've seen trucks on the way here, so we know that they're killing animals here today too, and I can smell it. Oh my gosh, they are. Wait, are they offloading right now?
Yeah, go.
Wait. They're in the lairage. See if you can get that. See if you can get that shot. They're in the lairage. Yeah, look, the security are already putting the door on manual. Maybe they anticipate us coming here today. What you're looking at right now, that silver truck, there are animals being backed off of that truck right now, sent into a lairage. This is a holding pen where they're getting executed today. They're going to that lairage, and they'll wait for their death. They'll wait to be called to the kill floor to be killed. This is an absolute atrocity that should never be happening. We're here today to show you the reality of these industries, the thing that the industry don't want you to see, the thing that the industry does their best to hide. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, guys, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. Please let us know where you're from. Let us know if the audio is okay. We've had issues with the audio recently. I think it's a YouTube update. This truck's now moving. You can see into the lairage. You may even be able to see the individuals that have just been offloaded. Absolutely horrific. Guys, we are not here today to clash with you, to point fingers at you and to judge you. We're here today to show you the reality and the truth. Nothing more than that. Just a simple, harsh reality that the industry do so well to hide. We're going to get our tripod set up now. Just make a point. Just look at the poo and the wee running into this slaughterhouse. It absolutely stinks here, guys. These cows are sentient beings. They have the same fight and flight systems in them that you do. Of course they do, they're sentient. Now when they come around here, the fight and flight systems kick in and their bowels absolutely dump whatever's inside because they are that scared. You've heard of the term shit yourself. This is literally it in motion. This is exactly what's happening to these poor cows. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Let us know where you're from. Double tap the stream. Please like, share and subscribe. Let's get this algorithm pushed up because animals are coming here today. We've seen 2 trucks on the way here. Well done, well done. We've seen 2 trucks here on the way here, and there is 1 truck right in there right now where animals are being offloaded. I want to make a point again of saying that we're here for a lawful protest, not to judge anybody, but to inform you. Now look, when we turn up, what happens? This door that is on an automatic system, they suddenly turn it off and run it manually because they can run the door a lot faster. The security cameras are already facing down the road to see where we are and if we're coming. Everything becomes secretive because they don't want the consumer, the members of public, actually finding out the realities and the truth behind this industry, because when good people see, it's absolutely horrific. When good people see, they change their spending habits. And when they change their spending habits, what happens? The profits drop out of this evil industry. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Is the mic not good? What's happening with the mic?
If you keep talking, I'll keep just checking it.
Okay guys, we're just going to have a little quick mic check. Whilst we're doing a mic check, please let us know 1, 2 and 3 in the chat if you're vegan. I don't think there's anything that we can do about it. I think this is a YouTube issue at the moment. Please bear with us with the mics, guys. As long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. It may sound a little bit robotic or maybe a little bit muffled.
It sounds a bit better lower, so I think we just need to keep it lower.
I've got nothing to plug it, to stick it onto.
And maybe the sign?
I'm going to forget that. I'm just going to stick it here. I can't be thinking of that while I'm trying to do this. I'm going to stick it to the side. Maybe that's going to be okay. Right, guys, cows in the dairy industry are being brought here today. You may Okay, so just swap in with me.
Alright, we're just going to try and sort. I'll put mine on there. Yeah, guys, so we think YouTube's doing an update, which is why the mics are going a bit weird at the moment. But guys, we're outside a slaughterhouse right now. Please double tap that screen, subscribe. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap that screen and subscribe. We just witnessed some trucks coming outside of this place with cows that are no longer on there because they've been sentenced to this dungeon of hell. We're at a slaughterhouse here today, guys. Please let me know if the mics are sounding better, if they're further away from our face. Maybe put some red hearts. Any vegans, put some red hearts so our mics are better further down. We've been trying to work them out, but we think it's YouTube, something on the back end there. Guys, if you have not seen what happens inside of a slaughterhouse, please go and watch Dominion. Go to the link in our description and watch Dominion on YouTube to see the reality. We are not here to hate on you guys whatsoever. We are not here to hate on you guys. We're here against the industry that exploit animals, and at the moment, they're mugging you off and they're brainwashing you to pay for something that's absolutely horrific. They're telling you lies like free range, organic, like local, small holding. It's all a lie to make you feel better about paying for something horrific. At this slaughterhouse, they take dairy cows from the dairy industry. Cows who have been forcibly impregnated. Cows who have had their babies taken away from them. It's absolute hell. There's been quite a lot of support today. There's been a few triggered trolls. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you are anti-vegan. Please double tap that screen and subscribe. Steve, if you take my phone...
Alex is saying we can swap back in now. Alex saying the mic's about 80% quality. I think this is a back-end issue with YouTube.
Alright, just keep it lower. When it was lower, it sounded better on the
Yeah,
phone.
I've turned my mic upside down, so let me swap back in.
That's a good idea. Thanks, Alex.
You got the thing?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, let me know if this mic's any better. I'll turn my mic upside down. I think right now the YouTube is just doing an upgrade.
Mel's is better than Steve's.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's because I held it lower.
Yeah, you had yours real low. Mine's here. Right, guys, we need to focus on what we're doing here today because this is just distracted. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. I want to make a point saying that we are here today to defend the animals, and we do that not by judging you. We do that by coming here and coming alongside you and turning your head against these industries. It's the industries that have lied to the consumer that make the consumer pay for some of the most horrific violence that you've ever seen without ever actually knowing the facts. It's the one thing that we do every single day where you pay into a system where you have no idea about. Our objective today is to show you that. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. Like I'm saying, our objective here is to show you the reality and the truth. These industries have to lie to you. This is where the humane lie comes from. This is where all the humane washing, the smoke and mirrors comes from. Now when we come here, we bring one camera to show you the reality and the truth live. We don't need to lie. We don't need to spend billions and billions and billions of pounds like these industries do. All we do is come here, we show you the truth. This is why we today are at a slaughterhouse here in the UK live. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Let us know where you're from. Double tap the stream. Please like, share and subscribe. Now, if you stay on this stream for more than 15 minutes today, you will leave the stream a different person, because you will leave the stream educated with enough knowledge to then go forward and make an educated decision on whether you want to continue to pay for this violence or not. When I talk about violence, I'm talking about the building behind me. This building behind me is where they're executing animals here today for optional products like cheese, milk, dairy and chocolate bars made from breast milk. These products are not necessities. These products there is no justification for, but these products do have a very real victim. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream, like and subscribe.
Dylan, thank you so much for your kind super thanks, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here as well.
Yeah, thank you to all you amazing people being here. Thank you for everyone in the beginning of the stream for being in here. It makes a huge difference. The animals will be coming here today. We are showing the public the animals coming here today. We need you to be in this room. Double tapping the screen, like, share, subscribe, and put the comments in. Spin the algorithm. If you're vegan, I want you to spam the 1s. If you're not vegan but you've got an open mind and a kind heart, spam the 2s. And if you're an anti-vegan, put in the number 3s. Today, our objective is to turn your head against the industry. A lot of number 2s may be angry at number 1s. A lot of people are angry at vegans. The reason being is because vegans simply hold up a mirror and show you the reality and the truth, which sometimes is confronting and it is hard to hear, because you know this is wrong. But when you come here and you hear the message, all that anger goes to a number one, from a number two. When you go to number one, it goes to the industry. I'm going to swap over with Mel, let Mel come in and take over from here.
Yeah, you might definitely need to go down. It's pretty bad. Guys, number one in the chat if you're vegan, number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, number three if you're anti-vegan, double tap that screen and subscribe. This is a slaughterhouse, guys. This is where animals get killed inside this disgusting facility. Here you go, Steve, you can hear it on my phone. Inside this disgusting facility. I hate being at these places. All I can smell when I get out of the car is death. It's like a heavy metallic smell that you won't smell anywhere else. It's literally a murder scene. It's a murder site. In my opinion, it is premeditated murder what these animal farmers do. Number one in the chat, guys, if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number three if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen, please subscribe. We also go inside these places. We go inside farms and we investigate and we see what happens for ourselves. We see the reality for ourselves. Go to our main channel, it's Mel and Steve. You can see the investigations taking place, and it's horrific. Like, this isn't just like anecdotal opinion. This is actually what we've seen firsthand. Number one, guys, in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number three if you are anti-vegan. I'm just going to pop this in here so I can hold that sign a bit better. God, I just want to say thank you to all the vegans in the room defending the animals today with us. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking being outside these places of hell. I'm at a slaughterhouse. They kill dairy cows here. Dairy cows are roughly around 3 years old when they get taken to a slaughterhouse to be killed. I saw a vegetarian in the chat earlier who said, I'm being vegetarian on anyone. Yeah, that's because you don't understand the industries. Vegetarian is the same as meat eaters. You're either vegan and you don't oppress animals, or you're not. A vegan is someone who's neutral. You don't pay for animals to be oppressed. You just don't pay for them to go through horrific enslavement, torture, abuse, mutilation, gas chambers, slaughterhouses, horse racing, greyhound racing, animal testing. Non-vegans do, but we all once were non-vegans. We didn't know the industries, and this is not your fault. Guys, number one in the chat if you're vegan, number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and number three if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen and subscribe. Like I said, it's not your fault that you don't know the industry. The industry want you to not know the reality on purpose. They make sure that they get people like the RSPCA, who have been corrupted by Freedom Foods, to put the Assured logo on products like pigs, gas chambers, farms. The Freedom Foods is a meat company who brought out the RSPCA name, which then they changed their name from Freedom Food to RSPCA Assured, and they only make money off exploiting animals. The RSPCA started off as an animal rights organisation. It got corrupted by money. Absolutely horrific. Money is the root of all evil, and this is why these places exist, because they want your money. Number one in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number three if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen. Please, please subscribe. Please go and check out our other channel, It's Mel and Steve. Lots of movement and activity in here. Already 2 trucks have come out. We passed 2 trucks on the way here. 1 truck has just unloaded animals into the dungeon of hell inside a slaughterhouse to be killed. And that truck's going to come out in a moment. We're going to see if the driver will speak to us. Usually the drivers are cowards and they like to just drive away and pretend we're not there. Number one in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number three if you are anti-vegan. Double tap that screen. Please subscribe. Is the mics looking better? Let me know in the chat, guys, if our mics are a bit better. Steve's just trying to sort it out in the background. Thank you guys to the vegans in the room who are letting us know how it's sounding and stuff. We really, really appreciate it. This is where it becomes a real team effort in what we do. We may be here, but we need you guys in the chat as well, helping to educate the public in the chat as well. Today you're going to be seeing victims come inside this absolute place of hell. We're not here to rage bait. We're not here to hate on you. We're here to purely defend the animals from you, but you may not realise that you're the person paying for this right now. Every time you pick up a chicken sandwich, you don't see the little baby disabled chicken at 42 days old going into a gas chamber. Guys, number one in the chat if you're vegan. Number two in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number three if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen and please subscribe.
Thank you to all the vegans in here who are letting us know that our mics are better. Hopefully I've played around with some settings. Hopefully this is going to be better now. Appreciate the feedback, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What are you here for today? Are you here to rage bait people? What are you doing?
Absolutely not. So I'm here at a slaughterhouse. Like I said before, I'm here purely to defend the animals. I'm not here to hate on anybody, although I do hate the industries and I hate what they do to animals. I'm here to educate you guys, to show the victims to you so that you can change. Because when you have the education and the knowledge, you have the power to then do something about it. I only wished that I knew sooner, because I hate knowing that because I lived, animals were inside slaughterhouses begging for their lives. Like, there's also going to be something coming out soon. Joey Carbstrong just released something yesterday saying on Saturday he's dropping something that is going to be heavy. So go and subscribe to Joey Carbstrong. Make sure you witness the investigation that he's done, or wherever that is, and see for yourself what happens in the UK. See for yourself all the other investigations he's done. Cathedral City Cheese, the halal slaughterhouse. He in fact got the halal slaughterhouse shut down for what they were doing. People believe words like halal, RSPCA assured, local, free range, organic, purely because the industry have told you those words to make you feel better about paying for something that is absolutely horrific, torturous, evil, and the worst thing this world has ever seen. Small holding truck. Oh, ladies, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. So awful. This is exactly what I mean when I say small holding truck. Small holding truck's just gone in that facility. He's betraying the animals. He tells you they love the animals. Oh, we love our girls, we love the animals. Yeah, right. Taking them to the slaughterhouse to be betrayed. In fact, I think I recognise this individual bringing these poor animals here. It's not the first time. They bring all the animals to slaughter here. Absolutely horrific. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you are anti-vegan. Please subscribe. Vegans, please put green hearts in the comment sections for the animals. Put green hearts in the comment section for the animals. These animals need to be seen by the world. If you can go back and record their faces and share it on social media, please do. When people see the victims for themselves, they change. Please, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen. Please subscribe. Please, number 2s, this is your opportunity today to change this for the animals, to be a number 1. So many people want to change the world, but they won't even change what they eat for breakfast. That's life and death for somebody else. Please, if you are not vegan, you are paying for these places. You're paying for individuals to stab animals in the throat every single day. You may think it's regulated, you may think it's humane, but it's a load of rubbish. It's not. In fact, this place has breaches on it, but even if it wasn't, criminal activity happens in every single one of these places. These places murder individuals. Criminal activity will always happen. Murdering someone is an immoral act. It's an immoral crime. One day it will be a legal crime. One day these places, everyone who works in these places will be sent to prison for what they do to those most beautiful, childlike beings on the planet. Phone. Oh, sorry, it's heartbreaking being here. It literally rips my heart out. Have you ever looked into the eyes of the victims that you killed before? Have you ever looked into the eyes of someone who's about to be stabbed in the throat before? We do every week. Every week we do. Every week, whether that's chickens, whether that's cows, whether that's mother cows from the dairy industry, whether that's piglets about to go into a gas chamber, turkeys. We've met them, we've witnessed, and you hear their cries, you can feel their emotion. In fact, here they often cry when they come into this place. It's a dungeon. This is a slaughterhouse. It's a dungeon where they kill animals. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan. 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan. 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Number 2s, this is your opportunity today to do something about this. If you don't do something about it, who will? Number 1s are vegans, who are likely, most of the time, were number 2s. We're all born in this world, all conditioned the same as each other. We all went to school, whatever we did, and we're all conditioned by the big ag, right? The big industries lying to us. From a child, you don't even have a choice. You're part of the violence from the moment you're born, but every single child born is a vegan. Every single child loves animals and they don't want to partake in what happens to them. But unfortunately, their parents have been brainwashed and have been giving them things like cow's milk. Cow's milk is intended for a baby cow, not a baby human, and not an adult human or an old human. A baby cow. The only reason cows produce milk is for their babies, and when they can no longer produce milk or no longer get pregnant, around 3 years old, they go to a slaughterhouse. They go to a slaughterhouse to be killed. In fact, about 20% of cows that go to slaughter are still pregnant. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you're anti-vegan. I'm just going to switch in with Steve quick.
Cool. All right, I think I've worked out the mics now. I think all the mics should be all good. All good. Guys, thank you so much for bearing with us with that. Let us know in the comments if these mics are good. Now, what you've just seen in here, look to the left, you see the big factory farming truck. And you look to the right, and you see the small holding truck. This is when people say small holding farming is much better, when people say that local, organic, free range is much better. I want you to take a real clear note that both of them are at the same slaughterhouses. The same knives who kill the local, organic, free range, small holding animals are killing the factory farmed animals. It's the same slaughterhouse. We are not here from a welfare position. We are here from an animal rights position. These animals should have rights defending them. They should have a right to their bodily autonomy. They should have a right to their life. This is an absolute injustice what's happening behind us right now. We are live in the UK to bring you, the consumer, the reality and the truth. Simple as that. Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations and you're a kind person. And number 3 if you're an anti-vegan, double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. I want to make a point here. I made this point yesterday. The chat, the biggest noise in the chat comes from number 3s. But the majority of the people watching, the majority of the people in the world are a number 2. The majority of people do care. The majority of people do have compassion and a kind heart. But the majority of people have never been shown or told the reality and the truth to be able to make an educated decision on whether it's consistent with their ethics and morals to be violent towards these baby animals or not. This is why we're here today, to bring you the reality and the truth. Did you know, before I tell you this actually, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're a kind person and open-hearted, but you're not vegan yet. And number 3 in the chat if you are against veganism, if you are anti-vegan, if you think that animals should be used any way you want, double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. My gosh, it's just absolutely waved over with that metallic, irony, blood smell. It's disgusting. Oh man, it's horrible, isn't it, when you smell that?
You're right, okay.
Oh gosh, guys, we are not here to clash with you. We are not here to point fingers at you. We are here to turn your head against the industry who have lied to you. What chance have you ever stood? Did you know, this is where I was going to go a second ago, did you know that dairy cows were mothers? Did you know that the cows who are inside this slaughterhouse being executed for their breast milk are mums, and that's the only reason why they produce milk? Cows don't just magically produce milk because they're cows. They don't just magically produce milk because they eat grass. They produce milk because they're mums. We're going to show you over the top here again. I want you to see the clear distinction. Look at this. The similarities here between small holding farming, local, organic, free range, and factory farming. There it is. Well, guess what? When all them cows go into that slaughterhouse, you won't be able to tell the difference. You won't know which individuals were factory farmed, which individuals were farmed on a small local farm. But what you will be able to see is they all go through the same kill floor, they all go through the same kill line. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, you're open to this conversation, and 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. Please hit the bell notifications. We go all over the country, different slaughterhouses, to bring you, the consumer, the reality and the truth. Now, the reason why we do this is because we as vegans know what the animals face. If we do nothing, what chance do they ever stand of being free?
Why do they use words like local, free range, small holding?
Yeah, good question. They use words like local, free range, small holding and organic because the public have been conditioned to associate these words with something good. Just because you put the word humane in front of slaughter doesn't mean that the act of slaughter is humane or is kind or it's benevolent or it's okay. If we took the word humane and put it in front of any other injustice, we would never say that that makes that injustice excusable. If I said I humanely robbed the local bank, would that be okay? Is it ethical or moral for me to do it because I did it humanely? Of course not. The injustice is always from the victim's point of view. We can never look at it from the oppressor's point of view. And this is what I want everyone watching today to do. I want you to empathize with the animals who are here today dying. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open to these conversations, and 3, if you don't care about animals, please double tap the stream, like, share, subscribe and hit the bell notifications. We're here today because the animals need defending, and the only way we can defend them is when number 2s, when good people hear and see the reality and truth and decide to change their demands, change their spending habits.
Thank you, Dylan, for your kind super thanks. Put massive respect, guys.
Oh, thank you very much.
So kind.
Respect to all you guys in that chat. The chat room's a very hard place to be, especially when the chat moves fast. Talking to the chat moving fast, spam the ones, vegans, spam the ones. Show the number 3s, just how many ones are in there. Spam the ones. 1 if you're vegan, get them in there. Number 2 in the chat, if you're a kind person with an open heart, but you're just not vegan yet, maybe you've not heard or seen any animal rights messaging. And number 3, if you're an anti-vegan.
Prior, have you just gone vegan?
Someone gone vegan. Amazing.
Yeah.
Within the first 25 minutes, someone's gone vegan already.
I'm vegan.
Oh, excuse me, guys. The smell here is horrific. Guys, I want to tell you some facts. While we're waiting here for another truckload of animals to turn up, let me tell you some facts about cows, because cows are being killed behind me right now in this slaughterhouse. This slaughterhouse specifically kills cows. Beef cows and dairy cows. 2 different breeds of cow. Did you know that? Did you know that the dairy industry leans on the meat industry for propaganda? When you see meat cows, beef cows, in the fields with the babies and their mums, the dairy industry lean on that propaganda and say, we don't take the babies away. Look, they're in the field, they're with their mums right now. That's the meat industry. Them animals are exploited for their body parts. They're grown abnormally large with abnormal muscles to make more profit.
Truck's coming out. You watch how they respond, okay? You watch how these people respond.
Shame on you. Shame on you. How old were them babies you sent to death today? How old were them individuals? How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night sending them innocent beings to be executed for your profit margins? Disgusting behavior. Shame on you. Never ever trust an animal farmer is my opinion. That's my advice. Whenever you give them a platform to respond and talk back about what you're putting to them, the windows are up, they shut, they drive off. Yet whenever they want to do anything forward-facing for themselves, oh, we're humane, we're ethical, local farmers, British farmers. British farmers are the best in the world. We've got such high standards. Never trust animal farmers. Animal farmers are absolutely criminal, in my opinion, to the animals. 1 in the chat if you're vegan.
Great.
2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded with a kind heart. 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the stream, like, share, and subscribe. Animal farmers propagate to the world, and they appear to be a pillar of society. They appear to be providers to the people. Animal farmers, in my opinion, are absolute scumbags who know exactly what they're doing to these innocent animals, and they lie and they manipulate the public. They lie to you, they humane wash the public to keep their profit margins looking nice and healthy at the expense of everybody, especially at the expense of the animals. These innocent animals who have committed no crimes, who are going inside this slaughterhouse today to be executed for cheese, for burgers, for chocolate bars, for a little drop of their breast milk in your coffee. This is not good enough, guys, and it needs to change. If you are a number 2, if you are a compassionate person, but you're just not vegan yet, today is your day to hear this message. If you have kindness and empathy in your heart, please extend it to all sentient beings, to all animals, and simply become vegan. 1 in the chat for vegans, 2 for non-vegans, but open-minded, and 3 for anti-vegans.
What's happened this morning? Who have we seen?
This morning we've just seen a small farm go in, a small local organic farm just pulled up there with, how many cows were on there?
I think 2 I saw.
2 cows were on that truck, and he dropped them off right next to the factory farm truck, who had just dropped off potentially 30 to 50 cows prior. All of them animals have now gone into a layerage. A layerage, if you don't know what that is a huge holding pen where animals are made to wait before they get brought to the kill floor to be executed. I'll tell you exactly what that process looked like for them in a second. But first, I want you to put number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. I want you to put number 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're kind, you have an open mind, and you're open to this conversation. I want you to put 3 in the chat if you're not a nice person, if you're an anti-vegan. But please double tap the stream, like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. It stinks here, guys. Now, our blunt human noses could smell this. Cows can smell up to 5 miles. This is why there's lines of wee and pool on the floor. They literally come into this building shitting themselves that they're that scared. Now let me tell you what's going to happen to these cows today. From that layerage, they get taken through to the kill floor. They get brought down to a single file line. They get put inside a knock box. The knock box is 1 sheet of metal slides up. The cows are forced forward. That metal spar comes down behind them. They can't move, they can't escape, can't go forward, backward, left, right, or turn around. They're trapped. From that point, a person will come over with a gun, a bolt gun, they shoot them in the forehead. This is where the industry lies to the public and says it's humane. They get bolt gunned in the head, they don't feel a thing. That bolt gun isn't for the cows. That bolt gun is so that when the person coming towards them with a knife they don't get injured because the cows are trying to evade and run away, because they have fight and flight responses like you do. Once that bolt gun hits them, they get their back legs shackled and they get lifted up, and then they're going to get stabbed to death. That's exactly what's going to happen to these individuals behind us today. If you don't like that, then go from a number 2 to a number 1, be vegan, and don't be the reason it happens. Let me swap in with Mel, and Mel can take over from me.
Yeah, exactly, well said. You know what, when I wasn't vegan, I come across an activist called Joey Carbstrong on YouTube, and he was debating someone about the dairy industry, and I pushed on that video because I was like, I didn't understand what there is to debate about dairy. I thought cows just eat grass and produce milk. I'll continue that story in a second. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and please subscribe. I'm at a slaughterhouse today. On that video I saw inside a slaughterhouse. I saw a mother cow from the dairy industry being bolt gunned in the head and being slashed in the throat by two men. And what I witnessed was that she could feel everything. She was literally had the worst kind of fear in her eyes that I've ever seen, and I've never seen that in a human before. I've never seen the fear I saw in her in another human before, and I was absolutely heartbroken. Me and Steve, we both, we didn't even tell each other that we went vegan at that point. It was just an obvious thing you do when you go vegan. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and subscribe. I'm not here to hate on you guys, by the way. We're just here to defend the animals and show them to you so you have education and the power then to change. When we both saw inside the slaughterhouse, it was a very obvious thing that we both realized at that point. We're vegan. There was no other way around it. Like, I would never pay for an animal to go through what happens inside these places, but I didn't know before. So what we did, I literally cried, we both cried. It actually ripped my heart out. I cry often about what I see happening to animals. We both went into the kitchen, Steve grabbed a black bag, I chucked all the animal products in the bin that we bought the day before, because we did our shopping the day before, and we were like, that's it. We'll live on beans on toast. We didn't know how to be vegan. We just knew that we could never pay for that again. I'll continue the story in a second. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and please subscribe. I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. So after we threw the animal products in the bin, the dairy, the eggs, the meat, flesh, everything, we were like, right, we don't know where protein comes from, it doesn't matter. Steve obviously does bodybuilding. He was like, I don't care if I shrivel up and we're deficient, because we genuinely thought that would happen to us. We thought, I'd rather not live as long and not hurt animals than to oppress them. And then when we did research, we were like, oh, vegans actually live longer. Vegans are healthier. Protein comes from plants. And we were like, why the hell? We've been brainwashed by these industries telling us protein comes from the flesh of animals, when it doesn't. It literally comes from plants. They then eat the plants, the protein. You then kill the animals and get secondhand protein. Like, we didn't realize all our nutrients come from plants. So why the hell we got slaughterhouses? And then we saw money. It's all a money tie. Even the pharmaceutical industries and all sorts of that. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 if you are anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and subscribe.
People are saying I could never go vegan, it's extreme.
No, being vegan is not extreme whatsoever. Being non-vegan is the most extreme you could ever be. You pay for slaughterhouses. Being non-vegan means you literally open your fridge and you have the breast milk of someone else, of a mother who is a grieving mother who didn't want to have her baby taken away from her or have pregnancy forced upon her. If you have bacon, you're paying for piglets to go into gas chambers. Mothers of those pigs are forced inside farrowing crates, locked in this cage, but they can't even turn around for 5 weeks on a concrete floor. They call it enriched if there's a scrap of newspaper on the floor. And when I say scrap, it's like this big on the floor. It's horrific. Vegans are people who are not extreme. They're just normal people who don't stab animals or don't pay for animals to be oppressed for us. That's easy, as simple as that.
Where can people see inside these places if they want to go and see more?
Yeah, so one documentary I absolutely recommend to everybody, which is in the link in our description. It's the documentary that everyone wishes they saw sooner. It's called Dominion. Go and watch that on YouTube. See for yourself. Our friend Joey Carbstrong released a documentary called Pignorant. You can see that on Amazon Prime or YouTube as well. Just be open-minded enough to go and have a look. so that you can understand why we are so passionate and why we are here and why this is the most urgent issue of our time, and you can stop right now. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen and please subscribe. When people are talking about extreme, we've got our friend here, David. He's an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. David used to work inside the industry. You know the things that he saw? He saw a mother cow from the dairy industry go to a slaughterhouse, and what he said happened, he said because the kill line has to be on it's like a fast-paced thing, and if there's like a block in the kill line, it doesn't matter, they still dismember the animals regardless if they're alive or not. He said this cow got stabbed in the throat, hung upside down, blood pouring out of her neck, and then they said while she was still conscious, they were ripping her skin off her face, and he said he could hear her screaming in agony. Not only did they leave that there, they then cut into her stomach because she was pregnant. They pulled her baby out of her stomach, and the baby suffocated to death on the floor of the slaughterhouse. Talk about extreme. That's all for someone to drink breast milk. That's all for someone to drink cow's milk in your cup of tea. Just have oat milk or soy milk. It's as easy as that. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and subscribe. Ask questions in the comment section. We've got amazing vegans in here who have also done the research and had a look into it so they can answer your questions. Please ask away.
Are you here just to rage bait people today? What are you doing?
No. So I'm at a slaughterhouse. I get very passionate because I'm heartbroken. If I get angry, it's because I'm sad. Sadness is such a close emotion to anger that instead of crying, you get angry, you get passionate. I'm literally at a place where they stab animals in the throat. It's the worst place I've ever been to. But it's hard for the animals inside this place. I'm not here to hate on you guys. We are not here to be against you. Not at all. In fact, we should be allies against the industries that do this, because they have lied to us. They've lied to all of us. They lied to me, they lied to Steve, they lied to David. He works in the industry. He didn't even know there was a way out. He didn't know you could not do this to animals. If you don't know, it's not your fault. But please just be that number 2, be open-minded, listen, and then please be number 1. Even if you're learning and looking into this, in the meantime, whilst you're learning about what happens to animals, be number 1. Because on the just in case, you might be wrong. Because I wish so much, I wish I had someone telling me sooner, hey, you might not realise this, but actually every time you pick up cow's milk, you're paying for animals to go to slaughter for you. You're paying for mothers to have pregnancy forced upon them. You're paying for mutilation of babies in gas chambers. Every time I had chicken, because that was probably the animal I ate the most was chicken, I didn't realise I was paying for disabled babies at 42 days old to go to gas chambers for me. I didn't know, because when I saw the chicken breast, I didn't see an animal, I just saw a product.
TNT has just gone vegan, and there are so many number 2s in the chat right now.
Amazing. Thank you so much for going vegan for the animals. We're not here for us, we're here purely to hope that people with good hearts listen and they change for the sake of the animals. To every single number 2, please watch Dominion on YouTube. Stay on this live stream. Today you're going to be witnessing victims coming in from these disgusting places, these concentration camps, I call them, in my opinion, because that's what they are. They're slave camps. And you'll see the slave owners called farmers, in my opinion, that's what they are. Because it is what they are. If you switched out humans and animals, you know what that would be called. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen and please subscribe. Don't let these industries win, because at the expense of them winning is victims, real life victims happening, being killed today.
People are saying that cows don't get killed for milk. Don't be so silly.
No, every single cow in the dairy industry gets killed for milk. In fact, the dairy industry and the egg industry is the most abusive industries on the planet, because what happens is that they get pregnancy forced upon them. What that means is that the farmer will put the cow in a cattle crush, which is a big cage that goes around her. She can't get out the front, but he has access to her back end, or she has access to her back end. He puts his whole entire arm inside of her backside and makes her pregnant. Their pregnancy forced upon them, their babies kidnapped from them. They mourn all through the night for their babies. I've been on a farm listening in the middle of the night, seeing this poor mother with blood all out of the back of her, where she's just given birth, no baby around because the farmer's stolen her baby already, and she's crying out. Then I sat with the babies in this farm, all alone in the darkness, in the freezing cold. They were trying to suck your fingers because they want the milk from their mother. Like, have you ever seen a human get underneath a cow and try and suck the teat for breast milk, for cow's milk? No, because it's not what we're supposed to do. Cow's milk is for baby cows, human milk is for baby humans. It's as simple as that. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and please subscribe. I'm just going to switch back in with Steve.
Yeah, well said, absolutely. Guys, I think that another truck will be coming soon. This truck's been in the layerage, the washdown area for quite some time. We've only had a small holding truck come in, so I believe that if you stay on this live stream for another 15 minutes, you will see exactly what we're talking about. We are going to show you animals coming in here today in live, real time. These animals that you see coming inside this facility behind me will be killed by the end of the day. This is their last day. Today was the last time that they opened their eyes after a night's sleep. Last night was the last time that they probably laid next to their loved ones, laid down and tried to find some comfort in the dark end, dingy side of some barn. This is an absolute horror show in my opinion. We've investigated these farms, we've seen these farms for ourselves. They're nothing short of a horror show if you ask me. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations. 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so when we go to different slaughterhouses you can see this isn't just a one-off case, this isn't just one bad day, this is systemic violence. It's huge. The injustice that is put upon the animals is the biggest injustice this world has ever seen. Not only is it the biggest injustice the world has ever seen, but these poor individuals aren't even considered victims. In fact, they are mocked and they are laughed at. Their existence, their suffering, their exploitation, their commodification, and their murder is an absolute laughing joke to some people, so much so they just put a meat emoji in a chat room. Imagine if you were reduced to the same status. Imagine if we took you as an individual, we gave you a number, not a name, we confined you, we restricted your movements, we made you work, we took everything from you, your autonomy, your freedom, everything, and then when we decided that you were no longer good enough, we took you to a slaughterhouse, and on your way there, everyone who was your oppressor was mocking and laughing at you. Everyone was there was willing you to go in to be executed because they wanted to put your body in between 2 bits of bread and call it a sandwich. What an absolute injustice. How would you feel if that was you? Swap places for 1 minute with these cows who are coming inside here today. I'm talking anecdotally in your case, but for them, I have just described their exact reality. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, please like, share, subscribe. We're not here today to clash or judge anybody. We're here today talking passionately because for them, they need us to do it. This isn't a matter of slow progress. This isn't a matter of baby steps and a little meatless meal here, a little less here. This is a matter of identifying an absolute horrific exploitation, an absolute horrific injustice, and immediately removing your support and going vegan. 1 in the chat if you've already done that and you are vegan. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you are a kind person, open-minded, open-hearted, and you've never had this conversation yet. And number 3, if you don't care about animals.
How many security people are here? What happens when we get here?
Yeah, so you can see the security in there. You've got the orange high-vis and you've got the little guy in the yellow high-vis there. This security gate, right, this is usually just an automatic system. They sit in their little office, they got a camera up here, they got an intercom there, and when a truck pulls up, they hit a button, and this just opens automatically and then shuts again, right? But when we come here with a camera, these 2 like little security guards, they've got to run the gate up and down. They come and put it on manual, and then it takes 2 of them to push it and to close it again. And the reason why we do that is for an extra layer of security, an extra layer of smoke and mirrors from the consumer. Because when they do that, the gate opens and shuts faster. Now, when the gate opens and shuts faster,
no, it's not a truck. I thought it was, yeah.
When the gate opens and shuts faster, our window of opportunity to show you, the consumer, the reality drops. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, you're open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Most people are number 2. Most people care, just not most people have seen or heard what we're trying to tell you today. When good people see and hear this, they become vegan immediately.
So there's a lot of people saying God gave us animals to eat. I don't know if you want to address it or not.
Listen, there is no religion that mandates executing and exploiting animals. No religion says you have to do it. You can be any religion you like and vegan. So it doesn't matter. You can make the moral and ethical choice to be vegan no matter what religion you are. And I would say if you're using a kind, benevolent, loving religion to try and justify the violence towards the most innocent, vulnerable beings, That's kind of blasphemy in itself. One in the chat if you're vegan, two in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and three if you don't care about animals. To anyone who is religious, I urge you to consider this. If Jesus came down on earth today and came across what we're doing here now and saw three of us out here defending these animals, these beautiful animals who have committed no crime, would he stand here and defend these animals with us? Or would Jesus walk inside the slaughterhouse, pick up a knife and start stabbing animals to death, saying, I like cheese, I like chocolate, I like my chocolate bars?
Yeah.
What would Jesus do in that situation? What do you think? I've got an idea what I think he would do.
Yeah. Someone said, but Jesus ate meat.
Listen, Jesus could have flown. Doesn't mean that it's okay to do so. There is no religious text that says that you have to eat animals. So it's not mandated. So it's not saying if you want to be a Christian, if you want to follow Jesus, if you want to be a Muslim, if you want to follow Muhammad, if you want to be whatever, you have to do this to animals. It's not happening. It's not there. You have the choice. It falls back onto you. Don't try and use, it's not my decision, they said I should, to get out of this. This comes down to you. Are you a kind person or not?
Is there a documentary they can watch to see what Jesus actually did?
Absolutely. Christspiracy is a really good documentary to go and watch. Google Christspiracy. Go and watch that. That addresses all of these religious arguments. But imagine if I came up with a religion, okay? Now, let's say that I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in Hinduism. I don't believe in the Quran. I don't believe in any religion. One in the chat if you're vegan, two in the chat if you're not vegan but open to mind the conversation, and three if you don't care about animals. But my point here is, let's say that I come up with a religion, and I'm looking over there, I'm going to call it the field of grass religion, okay? And in my field of grass religion, I've dictated in my book that it's okay for me to commodify, exploit and kill certain individuals if they've got green hair. And my book says so. And because it says it in my book, I'm going to do it and no one can question me. Would you think that that's logical? Would you think that that's okay? Because all these religions, that's all you have. You have a book. You have a book of stories. And from these books of stories, these innocent victims are being executed, and apparently it's all okay because this book with a story in it said that I'm all right to do it. It's absolutely a ridiculous justification, and if you were the victim, you would never accept it. If I come with my field of grass religion and made you the victim, you would never accept it.
Someone said they're proud vegetarian. What would you say to that?
Listen, a lot of vegetarians go vegetarian for animal ethics. They don't want to be responsible for hurting animals. I'll tell you why. One in the chat if you're vegan though first. Two in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to this conversation. And three, if you don't care about animals, double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. A lot of vegetarians go vegetarian because they think that if I'm vegetarian, I'm not responsible for animals being hurt. Well, I'm here to tell you the reality that if you're vegetarian, the cows inside this slaughterhouse are here for you. The dairy industry, the egg industry, the leather industry, the wool industry, animal testing, they are all standalone industries. Now, if you are someone who's vegetarian because you don't like hurting animals, are you the kind of person who would wear a leather coat? Are you the kind of person who would wear wool, a woolen jumper? This is where vegetarianism is a reducitarian position on a diet. Veganism, let's make this very clear, veganism is the ethical position against the exploitation of animals. Vegans don't wear them, we don't use them, we don't bet on them, we don't test on them, we don't commodify them. Vegans respect animals and we morally consider them. So if you are someone who's vegetarian because you don't want to hurt animals, today's your day to go vegan and actually become that person who doesn't hurt animals.
We've got someone here called Bear NL. Even my dog is done with vegans. The irony of saying that when what's best for dogs?
What was the thing, sorry?
Even my dog is done with vegans. What's the best thing for dogs
Yeah,
to do?
listen, you need to go and look at the data on dogs being on a plant-based diet and cats being on a plant-based diet. Go and look at Andrew Knight, go and look at Ariel Griffiths, go and look at Just Be Kind dog food. Dogs live longer on a plant-based diet. There's no justification to kill a cow to feed a dog, the same as there's no justification to kill a dog to feed another dog, to kill a cat to feed another cat. There's no justification for it, especially now when you don't have to. The foods are there, the options are there, that you can choose to avoid that violence, so therefore you should. One in the chat if you're vegan, two in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, three if you don't care about animals. We're going to show you up over the side here. What's going on? This is going on for quite some time.
Yeah,
I wonder if they've had to kill, there's a potential they've had to kill on that truck. A lot of time, guys, in the dairy industry, you get downed cows. The dairy industry exploit these mother cows so extensively that their bodies just collapse. They drop to the floor, they can't even stand. I've seen cows being dragged by tractors into the milking parlour to have their milks sucked, the last bit of milk sucked from them, before they get lifted up and put onto a slaughterhouse truck to be coming to one of these places to die. I've seen down dairy cows, I've seen them in these trucks. They can't stand, they can't move, they're exhausted. They come and kill them on the trucks. 1 in the chat if you're vegan and you don't pay for this violence. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're kind, you have an open heart and an open mind. And 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals and you're a selfish person. Please double tap the stream, please like, share and subscribe. I want to make another disclaimer if you've missed the ones earlier, that we are not here to clash and point fingers. We're here to tell you the truth, and sometimes that truth is hard. That truth is a harsh reality, of course, because this is a very, very real injustice. We need to speak on behalf of the animals in the way that they need us to speak for them. There's no softening the message. There's no slow. This is the harsh reality. If you don't like what you're hearing, go vegan. I'm going to swap in with Mel, bring Mel back in.
Yeah, good job. Well said. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. So we were here last week for Project Livestream, which is an initiative that we have loads of activists all around the world who live stream outside slaughterhouses. Last week, the farmers were stopping down the road. They didn't want to come in because we were here with a camera. There was a truck who went down the road and hid, because what they want to do is wait for the gate to open so they can quickly nip in so that we can't see the animals. All we're doing is live streaming and filming the animals. It's not like we're jumping in their truck. Guys, screen record right now. There's another truck coming in with victims right now. It's a really high one, so I've got to try and get this really high. Go faster, fast. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys have an opportunity now. You need to leave. How many times do we have to tell you to leave this disgusting place? Everyone deserves an opportunity to leave these places, but when they don't take it, they are held accountable. Let me just have a look, see who's in that truck.
1 in the chat if you're vegan, guys. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. That truck there had loads of animals on there. There were cows on there. Mel's going to have a look now, see if she managed to capture any of them on the Osmo. Notice how them bottom slats are down. Now, I can't say for sure, but there's a high chance that the slaughterhouse phone ahead to these trucks, they get them to pull over on the side of the road and they put them lower slats up. You see the upper slats are open and the bottom slats are shut. I believe that there is a chance that they pull over, they put them slats up, and the reason being is because they know that we're here with the cameras. Because why? When you, the consumer, see the eyes and the nose and the ears of the victims, when you see that helpless look of the animals looking out, begging for mercy, when you see it, what do? You go vegan, you stop being the reason that they're on that truck in the first place. This is a slaughterhouse. You're witnessing cows being brought to right now. Now this truck here in the layerage means that I can't film them being removed off, so I'm going to go back to Mel.
Every single truck driver, every single worker here is all held to account the same. They know. They can leave. We're out here telling them they can leave. There's even charities, vegan charities, helping farmers and people in the industry to get out. Like, it's so easy for them to leave and they choose to stay. That's demonic. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen. Please subscribe. It helps get the algorithm, the live, pushed out so more people can see what happens at a slaughterhouse. Inside that truck, it was so high, the camera was like leaning down. It's quite dark in there, but it looked like young dairy cows in there and some beef cows in there. But they're not dairy cows, they're not beef cows, they're just cows. And it's just the industry has decided to use them in a certain way. These animals are not man-made animals. Sorry, these animals are not natural animals, they're man-made animals. They've been genetically modified to be a certain way. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan. Look at all the birds up there waiting for the scraps. Look at all those birds. Hovering around the slaughterhouse because they know flesh comes out here. They know the bins will be full of the body parts of the animals who wanted to live. All those birds up there. They're like scavengers. That's what humans are like. We're like scavengers. Be vegan, don't oppress animals. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. This is a slaughterhouse. Mother cows from the dairy industry are in there right now. Cows who are from the dairy industry, as I was saying, they're just cows, but they've been made pregnant. They've been forcibly impregnated. That would be the R word if that was humans, right? Just because the individual is different and looks different doesn't mean the action's not the same. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap that screen. Please subscribe. Put 6, 7 in the chat if you think animal farmers and people who work in slaughterhouses should be in prison for what they do.
People are saying, haven't you heard of the food chain?
Yeah, I have heard of the food chain. Have you heard of being vegan and not paying for any animals to be oppressed? Like, this isn't just about diet, by the way. In the food chain, you also have plants in the food chain. It's so easy. Like, you can say, oh, I've got teeth like this, and oh, what about avocados? Oh, what about pesticides? What about the food chain? The reality is, it's black and white. If you're not vegan, you pay for slaughterhouses and you oppress animals. But if you are, you then don't. Vegans is a neutral position. A vegan is a normal person who's like this. You don't pay for it and you don't help animals. You got to be vegan and then you got to fight for animals. You got to be an activist. That's why we're here outside this slaughterhouse trying to defend the animals, trying to get people to listen, to see the victims with their own eyes and go vegan. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen and please subscribe. By double tapping the screen, by the way, the more likes in this live stream, we've noticed that it pushes it out more and more to more people. So please help us do that.
What cows are on them trucks today?
Yeah, so I just looked on the camera. The truck was really high and it was going quite fast today as well. But I could see in there was mother cows from the dairy industry all crammed in really tight into these disgusting things. They can't even see. They're in this cage and they potentially have been in this truck for like 6 hours potentially. Like without any food, water or anything. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream and please subscribe. We also have our Ismail and Steve. Oh my God. Gosh, so many. It's a conveyor belt of death.
Be careful this truck. Be careful. Oh my God, look at her. Oh my God, look at her looking out. It's so scary.
They're going faster today. They're going in there faster.
Bless her.
Let me have a look and see if I can see anyone on the screen.
What they're going to do now, they're doubled up. They've got 2 trucks in there now. They're rushing these trucks in because they don't want us to show you them. They don't want us to show you the animals. Disgusting place, guys. 1 in the chat if you're vegan.
All right, Steve, we'll have a look at this quick. Maybe if we go here because it's a bit darker.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's show. Guys, you're going to see this now. Let me see if I can get out. Needs to lift it up a little bit.
I think a bit too close, yeah. These are the poor individuals going in right now.
Oh.
This is so urgent. They're real victims in here.
Oh, look at their little noses.
They're like
Dairy
children.
cows.
Yeah. More cows from the dairy industry. I might have put it in again, I'm not too sure. No, it was hard getting it up there. Let me just go back and show you again. Their little faces, they need to be seen because when people see the victims for themselves, they change. Sorry, it's in. There you go. They're going inside a slaughterhouse right now. I've just filmed them right this second. If you're not vegan, you are paying for this, but you can be vegan today and stop. Please, they need you. Give them mercy. Don't pay for this. Veganism is the baseline. It's the moral baseline to not partake in the violence towards the most innocent on our planet, the most innocent childlike beings on our planet. This is the most urgent issue of our time. It must end. As you've seen, it's a conveyor belt of death. It's a conveyor belt of murder. Animals are inside this place continuously. There's slaughterhouses are 24 hours, a lot of them. Even the chicken gas chambers, 24 hours. Let me just see if I'm still recording. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen. Please subscribe. This is a slaughterhouse. We just witnessed the victims going in right inside now. On that camera was what I just took on a slow-mo. Got the camera up into the truck to show you guys why it's important to be number 1 and to be vegan. If you are number 2, I urge you to look at your dogs or your cats at home. Just look into their eyes and be like, look, you are no different to the cows, the chickens, the turkeys, the puppies who are being used for testing on in the UK, all around the world. You've got amazing activists in America who just try to go into a breeding facility where they test on animals check it out on Fox News. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Weird movement in here right now. I don't know what.
A lot of movement.
Then if they're hiding, often they try and hide things with the white van so we can't see what's happening. Really weird behaviour. You've got security on the gate here. Why the hell do you need security on a gate? Why do you need that? Why do they take the gate off the automatic system that's usually on here, and why do they put it on manual? They do this because by putting it on manual they can open and close the gate faster. Why do they want to do that? So the activists don't film the animals. That's literally it.
Why are these industries never open with the public? Why do you never see this? Why do they never lead with their marketing campaigns of all this stuff?
Yeah, because if they did, if they showed you guys inside a slaughterhouse, there's no way you'd pay for it. No way. If you showed children inside a slaughterhouse, they'd be scarred forever. I'm scarred forever from what I've seen. But I used to pay for it, so we should never turn away with our eyes what the animals go through with their bodies. The reason they don't put this on adverts is because they want your money. It's just a business. What do? Oh, we're going to say, oh, we love our animals. Oh, humane. Oh, best standard. You should see their website. Go on ABP website. Oh, so transparent. Oh, yeah, happy animals make the best food and all that kind of rubbish. It's awful. The whole industry is horrific. Whether it's ABP, whether it's Pilgrim's Pride, whether it's the gas chambers, every single farmer. The farmers like to play the victims though, right? Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen and please subscribe. Farmers like to play the victims. They're all moaning and having a hissy fit about the tax they have to pay, right? They're living in mansions. They live in mansions. And trust me when I know, because we fly drones and we see every farm you go past, massive house, swimming pool, tennis court, massive. They have so much money, and in fact, your tax money is going to fund them. The dairy industry is a failed business because it's horrific. We're not flipping baby cows, but your tax money goes to them. They subsidise the dairy industry. They subsidise a business that doesn't work, that's immoral. It's the slave trade, in my opinion, with your money. And not only does that happen, they then make you pay for things like cow's milk and breast milk and periods from eggs. Gross. How gross. You're disgusting. You're a disgusting person. How could you? Was there a down cow on there? You were in there for a very long time. How old were those victims that you took in, you disgusting person? How old were they? Are you brainwashed? Was your parents doing this too? Did they brainwash you into this? You're weak. You're a weak person. You don't have a heart. You should go home and get your heart. I don't know. Oh my gosh, it stinks. Even though he's been in there for like the last hour and a half washing down, still stinks, because when the animals go to a slaughterhouse, they literally go into fight and flight. They literally poo and wee because they're so afraid. It's like a natural thing that happens when you're so afraid. And the truck coming out that has been washed down still stinks. There was real life victims in there, guys. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. By the way, I speak to him like that because he knows better. He knows better. He's accountable on a whole different level. He's not brainwashed the way that you guys have been brainwashed and propagated upon. So at him, I apply pressure, and at the industry, I apply pressure. But you guys, we educate and we try and have a respectful conversation, because you once, like we didn't know, you might not know yet. Did you have something? Were you going to say something?
Why do they have to wash the trucks down?
Yeah, so like I said, when animals are so afraid, they go into fight and flight. They go into fight and flight, so it means that their autonomic nervous system, basically, it gets rid of everything in their body. So that's why they poo and wee so much when they're going in here. There's literal trails of their feces going inside this place. They have to wash the trucks down because it's so messy in there. The animals have been in the trucks for hours and hours and hours. Sometimes you have cows who are down, which means they may kill them on the truck, and they got to wash all the blood down and stuff. Horrific things happen in slaughterhouses to mothers and babies. Absolutely horrific. Guys, I'm just going to switch back in with Steve quick.
Yeah, well done, well said. Captured some really good footage.
It's on, sorry.
What's it? This is recording? Oh, it's just right. It's just on. Turn it off. Well done for capturing them animals on there, them poor animals going inside. One of the most horrific things is being here and actually witnessing this. And a lot of people often ask us, like, as vegans, as animal rights activists, why do you go to a slaughterhouse to watch this? This is one of the most saddest places that you could be as a vegan, right? The reason why we're here today is because they needed us to be here. They needed us to be here to use our cameras to show you. If you're listening to me right now, if you're watching me right now, this is for you. This message is reaching out to you, your compassion and your empathy. I'm here to be upset because the animals needed me to be here to film what they go through, to get to you with the compassion and empathy in your heart for you to become vegan. And then when you become vegan, I hope you also feel compelled to come here and defend them. They need us to. Every decision that we make, whether you're non-vegan or vegan, the victims have to be at the front of it because they are the victims. If you're a non-vegan, you think of the victims and you go vegan. If you're a vegan, you think of the victims and you defend them in the best way that you possibly can. It's as simple as that. Because if we have empathy in our heart and you can empathize with them animals behind me right now, and if you were in their position right now, what would you want someone in your position doing? 1 in the chat if you're vegan, yeah. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and 3 if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can come to every single one of these that we go to all over the world, all over the week, all over the UK. We expose this industry.
Someone said, what's your opinions on horse racing?
Horse racing is immoral, it's unethical, it's violent. Horse racing is also aligned with the horse meat industry. Animals should be left alone. They should have the right to their bodily autonomy. We should never commodify them or use them. The horse racing industry lie to the consumer as well, propagate to the consumer. We believe that the horses are really looked after. We believe that the horses are loved. This is absolute propaganda. Because if the public found out the reality of horse racing, then no one would turn up to the horse racing tracks. No one would support, no one would give their money. These are businesses. These are all businesses, whether it's meat, dairy, eggs, leather, wool, fish, animal testing, horse racing, greyhound racing, all of the above. They are all businesses. They run off of supply and demand. And when businesses want to make more money, what do? They market. Yeah. When these businesses market to you, the consumer, they don't tell you the truth, they lie. You're told that you have to do it, that it's nutritionally beneficial, and that it's humane and ethical. All absolute lies to keep you from thinking about this, from critically thinking about this, from questioning this. You believe things like the FSA reports, you believe things like the RSPCA assured logo, you believe things like the red tractor certification, because if you didn't, they would lose money. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, please like, share and subscribe.
Chips in the room, he put, smart people are vegan.
Absolutely. Smart people are vegan, and I would say morally consistent people are vegan. If you're not vegan, I would say there's a 99.9% chance that you're not morally and ethically consistent. And what I mean by that is 99.9% of non-vegans would have a cat or a dog and love them. But if you put a cow there, a sheep there, a chicken there, a fish there, a pig there, you send them to these places to be executed and killed. That's not morally consistent.
What is this place?
This place is a slaughterhouse. What you're looking at right now is 2 trucks that have brought their victims in here today to be executed by the end of the day so that their body parts can go into burgers, their body parts can go into pies, you can eat them for your Sunday dinners. But every single one of them was an individual who wanted to live, who did not want to die. The dairy industry is in there as well, so any cheese, any milk, any yogurts, any chocolate bars made from dairy milk, any chocolate, any crisps with milk powder in. These are the victims of that very industry. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, and 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the screen, like, share and subscribe.
Someone's saying, how did you get that big on a vegan diet?
So you need nutrients, but you can select the ingredients. Now when you can get all the nutrients you need from the ingredients that didn't scream for their life in a slaughterhouse, it's the moral and ethical decision. All I did was I watched what happened to the dairy cows, and I decided that I would never be responsible for that again. I went vegan. I then Googled, as a vegan bodybuilder, where do I get my protein? And it says, listen, go and get tofu, get tempeh, get seitan, get whole foods, get beans, get legumes. If you want it, get the vegan alternatives, get the vegan chicken, get the vegan steak, get the vegan burger, get the vegan mince. As long as you have the why you should be vegan. You will know all the answers to the hows, but you must focus on the why, don't focus on the how.
Yeah.
1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to these conversations, 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please subscribe, please double tap the screen, like and share. The animals are coming in here today. We've had truck after truck after truck go in here. Every single one of these trucks had animals on there who do not want to die. We're here today, our objective today is to show you this reality, to show you the truth that the industry don't want you to see. If you drove past this building, you would never identify it as a slaughterhouse. It just says ABP food group on the side. These animals are not food, they're animals. They're no more food than you are. These animals want to live the same as you do. They seek freedom and love the same as you do. Why? Just because they look different to us, do we believe that it's okay to do this absolute atrocities to them? 1 in the chat if you're vegan, guys. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open to what we're saying. Maybe you're a kind person who's never come across this. And 3 if you don't care about animals. I'm going to swap back in with Mel. I think the more trucks are going to be coming.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's really important for people to stay in this live stream, see the victims for yourself, see the beautiful eyes of the animals who didn't want to die. When you see, you feel something when you change. It stinks in here. I can't explain to you how much it stinks. It gets like real down your throat and makes you want to like throw up. It's absolutely disgusting. It's horrific. I'm at a slaughterhouse. That's what these places stink like. They stink of heavy metallic-y blood, and it clings to you. It clings to your hair, it clings to your body, it clings to everything. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen. Please subscribe. Animals are going in here today. We've seen so many trucks go in here today with poor cows on. Cows from the dairy industry, cows from the beef industry. Did you know every single animal that you consume is a baby? Chickens are 42 days old when they get sentenced to gas chambers. Piglets are 6 months old when they get sentenced to gas chambers. So when you say, oh, I'm going to have bacon, that's a piglet who didn't want to die in a gas chamber, born on a concrete, wet, cold floor. If they don't get eaten by rats alive in these disgusting farms and they make it to 6 months, they get sentenced to gas chambers. Watch Pignorant on Amazon Prime to see the reality.
Where can people see our investigations of them things?
Yeah, so go to It's Mel and Steve. It's the purple logo. This one is the red logo on our channel. It's Mel and Steve. See the investigation. We actually took a non-vegan inside of a farm undercover. We then took him to a gas chamber. That person who was non-vegan is now vegan. He said he always thought it was just inconvenient for him, but he said when I saw what actually happens, it's the most urgent issue of our time. And he said I knew I needed to make a change. He got upset, he cried, and he changed. That's the emotions you feel. When people see inside of a slaughterhouse, you feel upset, you feel emotions. Let that emotion guide you to be a vegan. Don't be a number 2 anymore, be a 1. Number 3s, they're just non-vegans who are like brainwashed and they're like maybe animal farmers, people who kill animals for no reason. They're the type of people who put like kittens in microwaves. They're the type of people number 3s are. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen. Please subscribe. I can hear the cows behind me crying. I can hear them crying. And it hurts. It hurts. It rips my heart out. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that they're in there. It breaks my heart that if I was to try and get those cows out, I'd be arrested and taken to a jail cell. If I tried to rescue animals, that's horrific. Nobody should ever be jailed for trying to rescue animals. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen, please subscribe. Our friend David used to work in a slaughterhouse. He was a slaughterhouse inspector in Canada. He's seen horrific things that you wouldn't even be able to imagine. That's why I urge you to watch Dominion for yourself. See inside of a slaughterhouse. See the reality for yourself. Because when you know better, you can change.
Where can people watch Dominion if they want to watch it?
Go to the link in our description of this live stream, 3 dots in the right-hand corner, and just push the link Dominion. It's about an hour and a half long. It's a hard watch, but you'll never regret watching it. I wish I saw it sooner, and so did everybody else. And then show the rest of the world. The animals need you. They need you so much fighting for them. If you look and you don't act, then animals are always going to be oppressed, always going to be stabbed, abused and murdered for you. Always. And other people. Guys, number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you are anti-vegan. Double tap the screen, please subscribe.
What are them trucks behind you?
They're inside a slaughterhouse. The blue truck here on the right has got cows in right now who have just been taken from the concentration camp, in my opinion, called a farm, and travelled for hours, we don't know how long, but probably up to 6 hours on this truck with no food, no water. The farmer also doesn't feed them for around 24 hours before they go because it's considered waste. They don't care about them. Animal farmers don't care. They're just slave owners, in my opinion. It's slavery. And then they get taken inside here. So they're on this truck around strangers they don't know. They get forced inside the dungeon, which is called a slaughterhouse. Then they get forced onto the kill line. What happens? They go into a knockbox. They get bolt gun in the head. If they do, there's breaches here saying they don't do that properly. And even if they did, it doesn't mean anything for the animals. It's just to help basically get the animals to the floor so then the workers will be safer when they cut their throat. Cutting throats, guys. How extreme is that? The most extreme person is a non-vegan. To not be vegan is the most extreme person on the planet. If you know what happens inside these places and you don't go vegan, you're a psychopath. You used to be put in prison for what you actually pay for.
I've got 2 points. Someone's saying is this rage bait, and the other point, someone's saying that we're omnivores. Don't be silly.
The fact is that we can live and thrive on a plant-based diet. Do not get veganism and plant-based diets confused with one another. Yes, being vegan does affect your diet because you don't oppress animals. Just like if I don't know, people of a certain race were being oppressed and being sent to slaughterhouses and people were eating them as the norm, if you were against hurting them, you also wouldn't pay for that as well. So it's because animals are being oppressed for food that we also change that. But I also don't wear them. I don't wear them on my feet. I don't wear them in anything I use. I don't pay for animals to be tested on. It's really easy to be vegan. It's literally like the easiest thing you ever do. Once you know your why, once you know why you go vegan, because you've seen inside a slaughterhouse, you don't want animals to be oppressed. It's easy. It's just a different aisle in a supermarket. You just have to double check if your makeup's vegan. But everything now is saying vegan. In fact, the other day I saw even paint has vegan or labelled on it because they test on animals. It's disgusting. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen. Please subscribe. We are not here to rage bait like you said. We are here purely to defend the animals from the violence that will be forced upon them today. Each and every single individual going inside this place that isn't human doesn't come out alive. They get chopped up into pieces and sent to supermarkets or rendering facilities or places for their skins to be made into rugs. How disgusting is that? Like, are we living in like the medieval times? We're living in the medieval times. If you're not vegan, you're literally like a medieval person. Like, it's horrific, it's torturous, it's evil, and it must end. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan.
Comment from OHJ5925. So what about your pets who need meat to live? If you're vegan, would you rather starve your dog because you're morally superior than non-vegans?
What was that? What about our pets?
Would you starve your dog because you're morally superior?
No. Just
So
give
would
my
you,
dog
or
a
would you just feed them an appropriate diet, which
just
is
give them a
plant-based?
plant-based diet. Like, what's your point? Of course not. If you have animals in your care, if you're companion animals, you have a duty to protect them. You have a duty to feed them the right things, which is a plant-based diet. Dogs live longer on a plant-based diet. Dogs have less health issues on a plant-based diet. It's the most optimal. It's not my opinion, it's proven fact. Now, if you say dogs can't go on a plant-based diet, that's because you're brainwashed at the moment. You don't understand because you've not seen the studies and you've not seen the reality. I've seen it firsthand. What happens when you put your dog on a plant-based diet? The best thing I ever did for animals. They are living amazing lives now because of that. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Don't forget also to double tap the screen and subscribe. If there was no other animals on the planet apart from dogs, would you be farming dogs and sending dogs to slaughterhouses to feed your dog at home? If the answer is no, then you know what you should do. Be vegan and make sure your dog is plant-based. There's just a van behind you. Now, this is a slaughterhouse, guys, just opening up here. There's cows on this truck here right now. Cows on here. Mother cows in the dairy industry have been taken inside this dungeon. Weak, disgusting people are here. They're not human. These people can't be human. No one with a brain, a central nervous system and a heart would ever do this. You could leave. Message us and leave, just like the last security guy did before. Leave. Leave the industry. This guy used to work in the industry as a slaughterhouse inspector. He didn't know there was another option and he left. He now defends the animals. Before you leave though, go and make sure you film inside, expose this place. There's already breaches that you can check out. The FSA, there's breaches at this facility as well, so you don't want your faces to be a part of this violent system that happens to animals and their mothers and their babies. Please leave. Good people, when they know the truth, they leave. But people are brainwashed. They don't understand the reality, and that's why it's important to be vegan and to be an activist. That guy was actually looking at me today whilst I was talking to him about that. Usually he's like a bit like mouthy, but today he was like, oh. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. I'm not here to hate on you guys, I just really want to say that. I'm not here to hate on you. I'm trying so hard to defend the animals from the violence that you may be paying for. I used to pay for it as well, and I didn't understand. I didn't know that every time I drank cow's milk, I was basically paying into the supply and demand. Every time I demand animal products, they then would supply. So that would mean animals to be forcibly impregnated, have their babies taken, sent to gas chambers and slaughterhouses for me, and I didn't know that happens.
The irony of this, a comment here from Dyson over Moby, if you had or have kids, would you force them to be vegan?
100%, just like I'd force them to not take drugs and not to be a murderer. Like 100%. The most optimal thing for your children to be is vegan. Like, of course it is. Why would you make your children part of a violent industry of hell? Why would you let your children just film inside here? Why would you make your child, who would naturally love animals, to be part of this system of violence? If you showed your child a slaughterhouse, they'd be scarred for the rest of their life. That tells you everything about what we naturally should be doing. Cow's milk is for baby cows. Human milk is for baby humans. Then just let them eat plants. You can get everything you can on a plant-based diet. Everything comes from plants, our nutrients. That's the reason we see in three different colours, or 3 different types of colours, because we can decipher between the fruits and vegetables that look the best. Carnivores don't do that. Everything about us means we should be vegan. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the screen and please subscribe. It's so important to actually look into this, because I'm really upset that the brainwashing had happened to my parents and grandparents and generations, because I lived, I was the reason for slaughterhouses. They were giving me animal products. I'm disgusted that I ever consumed a dead corpse of someone who I would consider my friend, who I would love and adore. When children see animals in the fields, what do they do? Oh, mum and dad, look at the sheep, look at the sheep. Oh, look at the cows. Oh, look at the horses. Can you then imagine you going up with a knife and cutting their head off in front of them and then feeding that to them? They would hate it. They would hate you. They would hate you. Do the right thing by them and do the right thing by the animals and live vegan for them. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. And number 3 if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the screen and please subscribe. Can I switch in with you?
Yeah, sure. Okay guys, so listen, the reason why we're here today, the reason why we're doing what we're doing is not to clash, is not to point fingers, it's to come alongside you and turn your head against the industry. If you're watching this live stream and you're a good person, please know that our objective is to come alongside and lean into that personality of yours that is empathetic. We're trying to lean into that compassionate side of yours. We're just showing you the reality and the truth. If you're a kind, compassionate, empathetic person, when you hear and you see the fact that these mothers inside here from the dairy industry are going in there to be executed because their breast milk's dried up, you empathize and you remove yourself, right? You don't attack the messenger. A lot of number 2s who are angry at vegans, when they go vegan, become angry at the industry. Our objective today is to defend the animals by making good people see the reality and the truth, so you have the information to be educated enough to then make an educated decision. If you see the reality, if we say to you all these things, if we show you the animals inside slaughterhouses and you continue to oppress them, then you fall into the number 3, anti-vegan, and in my opinion, that's psychopathic behavior. If you see the truth and the reality and you change, that is normal. That's what good, normal people do. All right, you're not born vegan, but you're not given the information to be vegan in the first place, right? The industry doesn't want you to know all these facts and all these figures and all this information. This is why we have the smoke, the mirrors, this is why we have the security, this is why there's the cameras, the 16-foot spike fence, this is why the industry would never lead with this as their marketing pitch. You're not designed to know this stuff, because if you know, you remove your support.
Familiar put, they would still kill the animals even if you didn't buy it.
No, you're wrong. This is a supply and demand industry. The only reason they're killing animals is because people are out there demanding them to do so. Every time you go to the supermarket, every time you go to the makeup section, every time you go to the store to buy a jacket or some clothes, if you pick up the leather, if you pick up the wool, if you pick up the milk, if you pick up the body part, if you pick up the makeup that's tested on animals, you're effectively taking your money and you're voting for them to continue to do it to the next one. The minute you stop removing them products from the shelves, they become a product that isn't profitable. That system isn't a demand for it anymore. It drops out and it stops. This is why the consumer has the biggest impact on this evil. And so if you are someone who is empathetic and cares about animals, it's the least you can do is to remove your vote to continue this violence towards them. Please go and watch Dominion on YouTube. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, because we go live all over the UK 2 or 3 times a week to bring you the truth. Guys, we're going to leave our live stream here. We're going to see you on the next one. Thanks for all